People pick and choose who they love. People pick and choose who they throw shade at. That's why I do what I want. And spending all your time won't never get it back. Time is money, don't be wasting my cash. Give it back, give it back, get it back. Hey, time is money, don't be wasting my stacks. Spending all your time won't never get it back. People pick and choose who they
What up, and welcome to the very ninth and very special draft episode of the Pick Route. We are your hosts. My name is Patty.
What up? It's Dank.
What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning into the Pick Route. It's Quee.
Is he not hearing us again?
he's
He's
definitely here. He can't hear us. Moose is here. He's we had to record on we're recording in a different fashion tonight. So we might have a couple technical difficulties as we're going. He had it figured out and then he did it, but Moose is here. But that's all right. We don't really need him. No one really likes him anyways. We know you lost audio again.
Yeah, we got it. Figure it out. Figure it out.
So with that, we'll jump right into the pregame. Everything today is going to be draft related. This is we're four guys that love the draft. So we're gonna keep everything draft related. So go take it away. Dank, what do you got?
All right. So this year there's 8 teams that don't have a first round pick. And, in my eyes, I'd look at it. It's like, especially if you didn't win the Super Bowl, like, what are you doing? You're obviously not doing anything right if you're losing first round picks and not winning Super Bowls. So with that being said, who do you guys think is the worst team right now by not having a first round pick?
Ooh.
I mean, do you want to play a game with, can you guys name the 8 teams that don't have a first round pick this year?
8 teams that don't have a first round pick.
As of right now, because they guys trade up for it.
The Rams.
Yeah,
I know one.
Yeah, I know you know one.
The Raiders. Yep.
Yeah.
Rams, Raiders. I think what's going to end up being the answer to your question, the Bears.
I think that's a very good possibility.
Yeah.
Seattle won.
Who?
Is Seattle one?
Nope. Seattle's got a pick.
Seattle has a pick.
They picked 9th. The 49ers.
Yep. So we got 4. Need 4 more.
Jesus. Wow. Good audio here.
Yeah.
The Vikings pick 12. Who are we missing?
You're missing Miami,
Okay.
Cleveland,
Yep.
Denver, and Indianapolis.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say Chicago is probably in the worst spot with not having a pick. Indy, we'll see with them.
Yep.
They, TY's getting up there in age. Michael Pittman's okay. And obviously they got the run game. They're on the verge of the play. But I'd say Chicago is probably in the worst spot, especially in a top receiver dominated draft.
Yeah.
To be able to get Justin Fields, a guy, and you just lost your best player you've had for the last 10 years anyways, in Allen Robinson. So
dude, I think
would say
because of the receiver class too, like Cleveland's they just lost.
Yeah.
Freaking Landry. I mean, they just got Amari Cooper, but he needs somebody else there to freaking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have Donovan Peoples-Jones, your boy Patty, but
I don't understand. I just kind of aside, I've been meaning to talk about this. I don't really understand the Baker hate that's been happening. You were 0-16 before you got him, and then he took you guys to a consistent playoff contender. I don't understand the Baker hate.
I mean, that's the same Andrew Luck hate you guys were giving me, so same shit.
No, that's not accurate.
You see Baker getting picked up?
Yeah, I mean, they got to release him first. Right now they're not. Or trade him or release him. And right now they're not. But like, I look around, like I saw, like Carolina. I think he's better than Darnold, or he gives 100%. You just that kind of, gives you a little bit of an attitude. But I think he's on where we put him. I think he's towards the top half of the league.
Yeah, I think we had him almost dead at 16.
Yeah. I mean, you can't this year he was obviously hurt.
Plus we
His
didn't
shoulder
have
was
Sean on the
hanging
list.
out. Thanks, Dank.
I got you guys. Quay, who you got? Who's you going with Chicago or I think Vegas is in a bad spot.
Nah, I guess Chicago really is.
But
I got the most needs.
What did Chicago? Who did Chicago trade this pick with? What do they get in return for it? Because
I did not look that up, but
because Quee's in the same position that we were with Buffalo a few years back. It's all right, our first round pick is Stephon Diggs, and you can say that to yourself,
right.
But
who did Chicago get?
Who did Jimmy Chicago get?
Was it did they have to move to take Fields?
That's probably it.
Yeah, they might have moved up last year to get Fields.
Yep.
So ultimately it was the Mitch Trubisky pick freaking years ago that screwed him.
Yep.
Is what it comes down to.
Right. All right. Quee, what do you got for pregame?
Well, Dank talked about a little curse on the Detroit Lions and a little inside conspiracy with the Ford family about maybe getting some money for boosting up some highlights on players.
I hope they're getting something.
I'm actually thinking, and I don't want to bother Moose, so I'm just going to say my team today. But I think my team is in a little bit of that crooked behavior in the NFL when it comes to April. So we're going to have a quick little story time with Quee. We're going to go to 2005. We're on the clock. We have the 23rd pick. We take Fabian Washington, a corner from Nebraska, who, quote unquote, their stock rose when he ran a 4.29. That was the definition of what we did for about 10 years.
Yep.
The pick right after that was Aaron Rodgers.
Nice.
It gets better.
Oops.
Yep. It gets better.
I think I see where this is going.
Fabian Washington made it 3 years. Okay. We get into 2007 and we need to shop him around. So we picked up D'Angelo Hall, who's on the downslope. We shop him around and we get rid of him. 2007 brings another draft expert where we invest all of our talent and all of our knowledge into Jamarcus Russell.
Nice.
This problem could have been avoided, though. Okay. Because at the same time, about a month and a half before this, the Raiders tried to trade Randy Moss, not to the Patriots, but to the Packers for a deal that included Aaron Rodgers. So we missed on him twice. We then send Randy Moss. Uh-oh.
We got you.
You're good. I hear you.
So then we send him to New England for just a 4th round pick, and we see how that worked out. And I'm looking at all this stuff, and I'm like, well, I guess the quarterback situation that we had wasn't good enough. So Russell was definitely the answer. My best story about him was that there was a time where the coaching staff didn't believe he was really watching the film. So they gave him a VHS tape and said, I need you to study this and know this by Monday. He goes, no problem. He comes in on Monday. What did you see? Well, he came up with the longest answer possible, and he was sent home with a blank VHS tape. So that, in summary, is how April has gone from then until now. Because I think we were talking when they were on the clock the last time, and you were like, who are they taking? I said, who's your 8th tackle right now? And Leatherwood comes off the board, and it was like, you're like, well, he was like 7. I was like,
well, yeah, my favorite, and it ended up being fine. I mean, they've had similar careers, but my favorite Raiders one was always the taking Darius Hayward-Bay over Michael Crabtree. When they took it, Crabtree had a better career, but it wasn't like what we thought he'd be. But was even funnier was in the second round, they took a safety out of Ohio that Mel Kiper went, I don't know who this is. In the second round, Mel Kiper. Todd McShay goes, some teams ranked him as a 7th round pick. Most teams had him as undrafted. And then you guys took Clyde Farrell at 4 a few years back. Which
I mean, him coming out of college is pretty legit, though. I mean, he
was okay. No one
good.
thought he was going to at 4.
No
one thought he was going at 4.
So
I think it's just because Mayock and Gruden didn't feel like coaching those guys. So they just wanted to take Clemson and Bama guys.
Mayock literally said that we just take Clemson and Bama guys, we'll be okay.
You can't get fired if you just draft the best players from the best programs.
I disagree.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
He found a way to get fired. He created new ways to get fired.
But yeah, April's always fun for us.
It's always an event. Hey, you can't screw it up this year.
Nope.
Yeah, don't have picked.
Until we trade into it.
Yeah.
You trade Devonte Adams back.
Yeah.
You try to package Aaron Rodgers and you miss him for a 4th time.
Yep.
Moose, what do you got?
So I'm thinking draft. I was watching the NFL Network the other day. They were talking about how the Jags can't figure out who they're going to take with the first pick. And like, they were like, everyone's bummed because you're taking Hutchinson or Thibodeau, who are really good players. But I think we're fooling ourselves if we think Aiden Hutchinson is one of the Bosa brothers. To be honest, I think he's a great player, and I would love to have him, but I don't think he's those guys. Like,
do you think he's the best player in this draft class, though?
I don't think so. I think those wide receivers, a bunch of them could make that claim, and I think you would never do it. But I think the center from Iowa is the best player in this draft, if we're being honest. And he's going to go in the high 20s, and somebody's going to get a steal for the next 10 years. Imagine if I told you could have Travis Kelce in his prime for 10 years. But I was thinking about for the Jags, like, you managed to steal the best prospect since Andrew Luck 10 years ago, right? Who they've been talking about Lawrence as being, one of those that they said in the past, like Peyton, Luck, John Elway, like,
right.
Okay. So to me, it is ludicrous that they don't take one of these tackles who are supposed to be absolute gangsters, like the kid from North Carolina State. Don't make it complicated. You have you have Cam Robinson at right tackle, who's a good player. Go lock down one half of your offensive line for the next 10 years and give your kid a shot. Because if you mess this up, there is no way to save Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? Like, you managed, like, the Jets managed to win 2 crap games 2 years ago, and you fell into that pick. Like, you should be doing absolutely everything to make that kid successful. If you got to score 50 points a game because your defense is terrible, so be it. Like, you got to build around that guy. And you already wasted a 1st-round pick on the kid, on the running back from Clemson.
ETN.
Yeah, who's a good player.
When you already had freaking, what's his name?
Leonard Fournette at the time, right?
No,
they have what's his name?
Oh yeah, the other kid.
It's not Robinson, is it?
Yeah.
Like, I get why the Jags picked Etienne, but it still is not a good pick. You know what I'm saying? He's a 2nd or a 3rd round pick on a running back, especially one that's not some game changer like McCaffrey or Zeke when Zeke came out and, for 4 years, Zeke was the best back in football. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so to me, I think you run up there, you plant that first pick on the tackle from North Carolina State or the kid from Alabama and keep it moving. And then in the second round, you do it again and you take one of these guards that's also super highly rated, you know, and you just lock down that front for you so your kid doesn't end up broken like Andrew Luck did, you know.
Right. There seems to be a late push on Travon Walker too, the DN from Georgia.
I'm not seeing it.
I'm out on that.
Is he
that's
good?
the other thing.
My thing with the draft is always, and I felt the same thing last year with Fields and Zach Wilson. The jury's still out, obviously, on that. But I feel when drafting, you always have to take yourself back to when college football ended. What was the talk when college football ended of who the guys were? It was Thibodeau and Hutchinson.
Right.
Were those two dudes. And I'm always weary of these guys who start peaking now, especially peaking after the combine, peaking after his pro day. You know, it's not like anybody was talking about him in this spot now, but now they're like locking him into a top 5 spot. I'm like, that hasn't been talked about the entire time until these past like week, I feel like.
You know what it's called? It's called getting a good agent.
True.
Get yourself paid, baby.
True.
Let's go.
Hey, another quick take, because I was thinking about Georgia. Like I was reading through a draft guide tonight for like 2 minutes. But dude, that Georgia team was so loaded. It's absurd.
Oh,
like they have like 4 dudes in like the top 20 overall players. You know,
they have an Alabama type freaking draft going on this year.
Their front was wild.
Yeah.
They
are that LSU offense from 19.
Yeah.
They're that defense. Like,
which is why they won the national championship. I mean,
right.
It all adds up.
And George Pickett, the kid from Georgia, I'm calling it right now. He's going to be the best wideout in this draft.
Wow.
Yeah. He is going to be Dez Bryant.
I don't know.
And you're going to get a Dez Bryant type player out of that kid.
I think Salave has something to say about it.
I love Chris Salave.
They play the same way. Him and Dez Bryant, it's like watching a mirror. And if you tell me you can get prime Dez Bryant, like you got an absolute gangster out there.
Dropping football passes? Are you kidding me?
Stop it, he says.
Stop it.
All right, I'm going to go. We'll go real quick around the room because we got to start drafting here. Yep. What was for each of your teams, what is your favorite pick as a fan from the last 20 years that worked out the way that you thought it would? So you're excited on draft night. It ended up working out, and he's with your guy. So I think I said it before. I wasn't always a Bills fan. I've kind of found this in the past 5 years. So, I wasn't super excited when they took Josh Allen, and I talked myself into it. I'm glad I was wrong. I really wanted, and when they drafted up, I thought they were going to take this guy. Was Josh Rosen was the guy we all wanted because we watched him at UCLA. There was 1 to 3 throws a game where you just went, dude, like this kid is legit. So I still feel like he hasn't gotten a fair shake at it. He's still got it in it.
Not even a chance.
I don't think he's that good.
I mean, it's gone with you now, but so I really couldn't go Josh because I wasn't super psyched about it. But and this guy I feel is going to start really coming on and becoming a presence. Is Ed Oliver with the Bills? He had a great year last year. A good year. You know, I thought he was the best player in that draft coming out of Houston. But my pick's Eddie O. He's really starting to come on. And now that they're getting these rush ends with Von Miller and Greg Rousseau and Boogie Basham, I think you're going to start seeing Eddie O really starting to flex his muscles there. So what about you, Dank? This is an easy one for you, huh?
This one's pretty easy, yeah. And I mean, I'm sticking with the D tackles. It's Ndamukong Suh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's still not there. He's not there, but when he came in, he was a dominant force. And that's what Detroit needed at the time. You needed a guy to freaking reset the line of scrimmage and give your defense some help. And he freaking did that for us when he played and wasn't getting penalties. That's the only downside. And Sue, when he played in Detroit, he got so many penalties. Now he's like more laid back and doesn't get any.
His year at Nebraska was unbelievable.
And I'm going to bring it up right now. Aaron Rodgers got away. Remember that play? Freaking Adamagan Sue's just playing the game the best he can. You know, he gets pushed a little bit and steps on on his ankle because he got pushed.
Yeah.
And then Aaron goes around and punches him right in the butt. Nobody talks about that. Aaron never got suspended for that. I'm a little pissed about that.
I think Aaron Rodgers is
assault, brother.
Is public enemy number one for the pick route.
Sure sounds like I have no problems with Aaron Rodgers. But Quee, who's yours?
Well, we haven't done a whole lot correct in the last 20. So, I mean, I could say I got super fired up for a lot of them and can say the same for where, like, I was just like, we got to turn this off. I think the most sure that I've ever been was most recent with Josh Jacobs. I thought that was like finally in terms of the first round where I was like, okay, I know where we're going to get. Kid's a stud. I don't have to think. I could just be excited through and through. And it's been that way. Like he's had a little bit of injuries and stuff like that, but like he's exactly what I thought.
Right.
He's an Alabama running back. It's can't go wrong.
and I knew a little bit about Carr, but I didn't know as much at that time. Like Khalil Mack I knew of, but they traded him too early. That was, whatever. But
so is like Jonathan Abram a shocker for you, or do you think he's like
I think
kind of what you expected? He sucks.
I think he kind of sucks. Yeah, honestly.
Tighten up the sleeves, bud.
He's got he's just not capable.
And this marks okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I would say Josh Jacobs. I'm not gonna mention the other one because I don't want to stir any conversations here with my nemesis over there.
I was just gonna say for the first time in pick route history, we had the opportunity to talk about Hunter Renfrow when he didn't.
Thank God.
I was fired up. I ain't gonna talk about it today.
Go ahead, Moose. What about the Cowboys?
I think the easy pick, but I'm not going to take him, is CeeDee Lamb because there is no way he should have dropped to 17. But my favorite pick because this group of guys was on this guy, and we all went when he got drafted. We all went, dude, that's a steal. Michael Gallup in the 3rd round out of Colorado State has turned into a really, really good player. He got a 2nd contract. And if you guys remember a year or 2 ago, I said in 2 years, Amari's going to get gone. Gallup's going to get re-signed and CeeDee's going to be the one. And it's exactly what happened. But Gallup
still didn't suck.
When he got drafted at Colorado State, I went, that's a great pick, dude, in the 3rd round. And it's because we watched him play against Alabama one night and he lit up Alabama.
That was one
yards.
of the most fired up picks I've been for a team that I don't watch. Like I was texting Moose like immediately. I'm like, dude, I love this.
Great pick.
Yep.
Awesome. So we're going to jump right into the game, and it's the mock draft. Okay, we're going to go 1 through 32. And this is how we've done. We've had a text group for a couple of years now where we've done it like this, where I have randomly assigned an order. That order is Dank, Quee, Patty, Moose. Okay, so we're just going to go down the line in that order of who picks for which team, just going in that spot. And it's kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's not really a
so
prediction.
We're drafting.
It's not really what I would do, but
yeah, that's what I was about to say. We're drafting who we think they should draft.
Yes. Yep. So
not who necessarily you think they're going to take.
Correct. Sure, we could say it like that. But yeah, we're gonna go through it. We'll kind of talk about each pick as we go. But this is a fun one for us. We've been looking for this one for a long time. So, with that being said, the Jacksonville Jaguars and Coach Danko is on the clock.
Put some respect on that. They had a really bad year with a quarterback situation, so I think they go quarterback here. No, I'm going to take the. I'm in full agreement with Moose here for once. They need a tackle. They need to tackle bad. Like they need to beef up their O-line. Like you're all in on this kid. So I'm going to take the tackle out of NC State. What is his name? Akeem Equinowu. Equanu.
Yeah, Equanu. Akeem Equanu, first pick. Wow. Dank is always good at this for causing a little bit of chaos. I did a bunch of mock draft and I had Hutchinson going first, but
Dude,
right.
I wanted Tua instead of freaking Jeff Okuda that one year.
Yep. All right. Next up is Quee and the Detroit Lions. Who's Dank getting?
Quee.
All right. Now, am I playing our board or what?
You're playing your board.
You're drafting for the Detroit Lions.
So,
pick somebody.
I'm gonna stir the pot again right now.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
I think there's 4 picks here. You better not fuck it up.
I'm taking Malik Willis at 2.
Good.
Oh,
Agreed 100%.
I
Take
think
your guy.
this kid is what they need, and I think it's so clear that Jared Goff is the bridge. That take him, ride the bridge as long as you can,
down.
and get more explosive in the draft.
And it's just one of those things. I said it to Dank yesterday. If they don't take him, this is going to be the one that they really regret.
right. But when they do, he's going to suck and his career's over.
I think this kid is special. He everything he's done has reminded me of Josh Allen, except being 6 foot tall, not 6'5". But he's got the live arm, he's got the athleticism and all that. I think you run up to the board and take him. Next up is me with the Houston Texans. I really love Kyle Hamilton in this situation, but with the way this has gone in these first 2, I think they go ahead and take Aiden Hutchinson out of the School of North. And I think they say thank you very much, Jacksonville Jaguars. And that's what they do. All right. Next up is Moose and the New York Jets.
Straight up, I'm going to take Kyle Hamilton.
Might be the best player in the draft.
Yep. I think
Might be the best player of the draft.
I think all that stuff they're talking about him on ESPN and stuff is all garbage.
What are they saying about him?
That he's he's a mid-range one because he ran a 4.7 and he didn't test again at the combine or whatever.
And I know Florida State hasn't been what they've been, but watch that play he made where he was between
opposite
hash and opposite numbers and ran to the other side of the field and picked a ball off
by the side
on the sideline.
Right?
Yes.
Gangster.
And he's football fast enough. I love Kyle Hamilton.
I watched that game with my son, a day old, and I turned to him because Florida State was battling. And for the 14, Florida State is my team. And Florida State is
one of the 15.
Dude, Florida State looks like the best they've looked in 10 years. And then all of a sudden that play happens. And I just look at him, I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy.
Get used to it.
It's gonna be miserable. On the clock is Dank and the New York Giants at pick number 5.
New York Giants, what don't they need?
A little bit of everything.
Again, I think they have to start up front. They have Saquon. You got to block for him. You can't be getting hit. He's not Barry Sanders, so he's not missing tackles in the backfield, So I'm going to go with Evan Neal, Alabama.
Great pick. And that's where I have him going. Is that number 5? Yep, take it. Don't think twice. Go up.
Right. Please and thank you. Give me an Alabama tackle.
Right, and it's Daniel Jones is another one. All right, it's time, brother. We got to do this now. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
Next up is Quee and the Carolina Panthers. This is an interesting one. See there?
Yeah, this is weird because their needs and our board are just not conducive. But I'm gonna stick with need, and I'm gonna take Charles Cross.
Okay.
The tackle out of Mississippi
State. Yep. Yeah, they have a big need there. This is potentially a spot for a quarterback with Carolina.
Right. It depends on what they're thinking in the freaking front office.
Right.
I mean, really, all you got to do is get the ball to Christian McCaffrey until he gets hurt,
Right.
and then you got to figure shit out. But
so next up is me and the New York Giants, who took Evan Neal first. A pick that I know Chase wouldn't like them to take, which I'm not going to take, but I think this is the first spot that Moose really starts sweating it out is with Tyler Lindenbaum going here. I don't think they take him. I think they go for they took their need pick there. Now they go for a splash and they go Thibodeau out of Oregon.
Good pick.
Who was that?
How do we feel about him though? Are we believers in Thibodeau?
I mean, he's freaky. I think he has the most upside out of any of these ends. He is like Hutchinson, I think, is solid, but you could be talking about legendary pass rusher out of Thibodeau if he gets to go.
I
could see him.
Didn't see it at Oregon. Like he had plays.
His sophomore year was phenomenal. Last year he was hurt, but
there's so much drama with him. Like a lot of teams think he doesn't love football and all this stuff, and they're like, we're not picking him.
But I think he has so much upside that they go up and take him there.
Yeah.
8 is Moose and the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm taking a guy that I really like, and he's a Florida State guy, above Walker. I'm going Jermaine Johnson. I think he's a freak. I think he's an absolute freak. He's older, but he's got so much development on him that I think he's like ready to get in and play right now.
Former Georgia Bulldog.
Yep.
Yeah. No. I agree, because again, I think that's where Trayvon is probably fourth on that list of guys there. It's just kind of been in this past week that he's been being bumped up. But next up is at number 9 is Dank and the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow. This is a tough one here. Because I don't know. Off my board, I might just go best player. You know what? They need to reassure that defense again, because I think they're going to need to rely on their defense. As much as I want to go Stingley, I think I'm taking Sauce Gardner at cornerback from Cincinnati.
I got Sauce.
I do think Stingley is freaking gonna ball out in the NFL.
I think Sauce is the best player in the draft.
Ooh. I have him going 4 to the Jets. That was with Kyle Hamilton going 3 to the Texans. But yeah, Sauce is he's fun. But I think I agree with you, Dank, that I think Stingley will bounce back from the injury year.
Right.
Where he just kind of stuck it out and be back to what we thought he was. Next up is, to round out the top 10, is Quee and the New York Jets, who took Kyle Hamilton at pick number 4.
All righty. So I actually was hoping Dank didn't do that. Because I think Gardner is just such a good pick for Saleh.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say he commits to his quarterback and takes Jameson Williams at 10.
Ooh.
Nice.
Jameson Williams, first receiver off the board.
It's probably higher than he'll go, in my opinion, but
yeah, we'll see.
He's like a weird.
Yeah, again, kind of the same deal. Like, I could see him being really freaking good. Being a Jamar Chase-esque type dude that you can do a bunch of shit with. But interesting pick.
Yeah, it's like they just have to play that game where it's like, are you okay waiting?
Right.
Are you willing to take him that high and wait?
Right.
Till the end of October.
Yep. So next is me and the Washington Commanders. The Carson Wentz led Washington Commanders.
Nice.
I think I have them taking Nakobe Dean here in my mock, but with the way the board fell, they're going to jump up and take corner Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU.
Quee, who did you take?
I had
Jameson
the Jets take Jameson Williams.
Wow.
All right, so let's run through it again. So I bet to do this after 10, but number 1 to the Jaguars was Akeem Ekwonu from NC State. 2 to the Lions was Malik Willis from Liberty. 3 is DN Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan to the Houston Texans. The Jets took safety Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame. The New York Giants took tackle Evan Neal out of Alabama. The Carolina Panthers took tackle Charles Cross out of Mississippi State. The New York Giants take DN Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon. The Atlanta Falcons take Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State. Seattle Seahawks take corner Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati. New York Jets take wide receiver Jameson Williams out of Alabama. And the Washington Commanders take corner Derek Stingley out of LSU. Next is Moose and the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm going to take the most Vikings pick I can imagine, and I'm taking Jordan Davis. Georgia, nose tackle.
He went freaky.
Yep.
I mean, his combine was, for his size, it's insane what he's been doing.
It took a year or two, but look at Vita Vea in Tampa Bay and what he did paired with Ndamukong Suh on that defense.
Right.
It was insane.
Me and thanks boy Vita Vea.
Yeah.
We watched him that one bowl game. We're like, we're out on this dude.
This guy sucks. Now he might be the best
besides not name Aaron Donald, but
yes.
Next up is 13 is the Houston Texans being picked by Dank. This is their second first-round pick. They took Aiden Hutchinson with pick number 3.
Shit. I mean, the tackles are flying off the board.
There's been a lot off the board. Yep.
They could definitely use O-line. But I think here they got to go, in my opinion, best available in Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State.
Oh, Mr. Wilson. Chase loves it when I yell that.
Receiver.
Makes me cringe.
From? Where's he from?
Ohio State. I said that.
Ohio State. Yeah, no, Garrett. Like, I think Garrett Wilson is above Olave.
Yeah.
Olave's like Terry McLaurin, where it's going to be great. He's going to be awesome, but Garrett Wilson has a little something special to him. Next is 14, Baltimore Ravens, picked by Quee.
All right. I'm going to go with where I feel like this guy could land is Trayvon Walker at 14.
Okay.
mid first round.
Yep.
With the
I
production
mean,
that
and
he had.
that's a team for him. I think.
Yeah.
Like I think he fits Baltimore like perfectly.
Yep. Agreed. All right. Next is me with the Philadelphia Eagles. They need help on defense. Little corner help, but I think there's the two that you should take or have already been off the board. I love Nakobe Dean, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take, with the 15th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles take Drake London, wide receiver out of USC. A lot of people are thinking you're going to be the first off the board.
That's what they're saying.
Which I don't know. But I kind of tried to not look like a homer there and take Salave. But we'll give them Drake London, big body.
He's flying up boards though.
He is. No, I mean, a lot of people have him as the number one receiver. Next is Moose and the New Orleans Saints.
I'm gonna go, which I think our draft so far has been really good. I think I'm gonna throw the first curveball. So looking at the Saints, the only reason you move the picks the way that they did is to grab a quarterback, and I think they take Kenny Pickett.
Yes. Wow.
And I think they want Malik Willis, but they're gonna go with Pickett.
Yeah.
You know what's cool about that? And I think it's like so aligned is that he brings such a physical and athletic piece to the quarterback position that I thought they were hoping they were going to get from Taysom Hill, who just couldn't develop as a fucking true thrower, from the pocket. But Pickett does both. And I feel like that's like the perfect mix that they need.
Right. I'm not high on him. I see him as average, starter for a few years, and then he'll just kind of be a career backup. I love Malik Willis. I like Matt Corral over him. I like Ritter over him. And I think him and Howell are like neck and neck with me. I could be wrong, obviously, but not big on Kenny Pickett. But interesting pick.
Well, I mean, like I said, I think the only reason you move all that draft capital is to get a quarterback. And they knew they didn't have to get into the top 10 because those guys will be there.
All right, Dank. Team on the cusp, 17, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yep.
Scroll to the bottom, Dank. Go all the way down.
Yeah. I mean, they have if Jordan Davis is there, it looks like they might take a D tackle there, but
he's not.
Right. But you could go with the other Georgia D tackle who's also pretty freaking good. But I could also throw the curveball in, even though they just got Corey Lindsey.
Don't you do it.
This is his favorite thing to do.
Don't you do
This is his favorite thing to do.
You little bastard.
It would be a good pick for them.
It'd be a great pick.
So I'm going to go with center, Tyler Lindenbaum.
There you go.
Don't touch my boy.
I'm making sure he doesn't go to Dallas.
What a stupid pick.
What a
stupid pick.
You just called him the
best. He's the best player in the draft. Dumb pick. Hate it. Stupid.
You just signed Corey Lindsey, though.
Moose,
you very good center.
Moose, you want to?
Yeah, I know he's a good center, but
where'd Corey Lindsey go to college? Ohio State.
Moose, you want to cringe?
Sure.
I heard Lindenbaum going in round 2.
Oof.
I know. It's insanity.
Because his arms are too short. I'm like, what?
It's the dumbest thing ever.
Literally, people are like, nah.
Kind of makes
He's go-
sense for an lineman. You need arms.
32 to 40 is like his range. I'm like, okay.
All right, next is Quee and the Philadelphia Eagles. They took wide receiver Drake London earlier at pick 15.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Ooh, I got 3 guys that I'm looking at right now. I'm gonna take Nakobe Dean.
Love it.
Yeah.
I was going a little bit back and forth with him and Devin Lloyd, but
Yeah. Nakobe's a little more versatile.
I also think Olave there, I think would be pretty awesome too.
Yep. Well, speaking of Chris Olave, with the 19th pick, the New Orleans Saints give Kenny Pickett someone to throw to, and that's going to be wide receiver Chris Olave out of Ohio State. Because those Ohio State receivers in New Orleans work out really well.
Except when I draft him on my fantasy team. Fucking loser.
So Chris Olave goes to the Saints. Ohio State makes history. They have 3 former receivers go in the first round with Jameson Williams, Chris Olave, and Garrett Wilson. People forget Jameson Williams, not a starter at Ohio State. And the receiver room is going to be better next year. I can't see your faces. I'm sure your jaws are on the floor. 20, Moose and the Steelers.
So they've been wiped out of the quarterbacks I think they want. So I think they go to the next best option to address another part of their team. And I think they go with the McDuffie kid, the corner from Washington.
You piece of shit.
Listen,
Trent
Frank,
McDuffie.
you're the one that bastardized our draft by taking Lindenbaum when you just signed Lindsley, the center, already. So, basically everything now is destroyed because you're
Best player of the draft, best available. Take the best available.
Yeah.
There's only one center on the field, though.
So dumb.
You can move them around. It's not that hard to learn another position in the NFL. Come on.
All right.
All right.
Next is Dank and the New England Patriots.
Yep.
Trade.
Yeah. Trade. No. I think New England would go if freaking McDuffie's off the board.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll go safety after that. Go with Daxton Hill out of Michigan.
Over Lewis Seam.
Yeah.
Can you say that one more time? Who'd you take?
Daxton
Hill. Plays a little corner, too.
Yeah, he plays in the nickel, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to get the Cowboys.
I have a wrist listed as a corner.
Yes, you do get Dallas.
Nice.
Yes, you do. Next,
so now you can personally mess it up and stop blaming everybody else.
Yeah. Hey, at least I'll know to blame me.
6 times a charm, Quee. You finally get Aaron Rodgers. You're picking for the Green Bay Packers.
There it is.
See? It all works out. All right.
This is the or is this Devonte Adams pick?
This is the Devonte Adams pick.
Pretty cool. They could have drafted him there, huh?
Let's hold on 1 second. All right. I'm gonna take your boy Moose. I'm gonna make another splash today. Let's go, George Pickens.
Wow.
22.
And it begins. I'm telling you, this dude's going high.
I don't love it, but
George Pickens over Burks, who's been getting a lot of buzz lately too.
I think Burks is not what we think he is.
Sky Moore too is like another guy everyone loves.
I think Sky Moore is a way better player than Burks, and they do almost the exact same thing.
I like Wendell Robinson too, out of Kentucky. All right, next is me with the Arizona Cardinals, team that's been flashy with their weapons. They're going to go up front to fix that need. I think their biggest needs are all corner, but again, the corners that I take are kind of off the board. Even though I really do like Andrew Booth, the kid from Clemson, but with the board falling the way it is, I think they take Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa.
NIU.
Wow.
Yep.
That's wild.
I think they have to.
I think he's a second round guy who's being forced to be drafted in the first.
Possible.
Well, look at what happened to the tackles that just went at the freaking beginning of the draft.
I have him as the fourth best tackle behind Cross, Aquano, and Neal, those obvious three. But I think they want to show Kyler that they are committing to him. And that's what they go with.
Tell Kyler, shut up.
Moose, 24, and your Dallas Cowboys.
Yep. So based off all the Cowboys draft shows and everything, this is a perfect scenario for them. They have their choice between Zion Johnson and Kenyon Green, and they go, I would like them to go Zion Johnson because I think he's the best guard, but they like the flexibility of Green, and they go Kenyon Green from Texas A&M.
Stop it. Well, it wasn't perfect because you said it'd be perfect if they took Lindenbaum.
Right.
Best player of the draft, even though it was stupid for Tank the Tangle. Dank, don't fuck this up.
The Buffalo
25
Bills?
with the Buffalo Bills.
What do they need? They just
No
need
one
to
circles
beat
the
Kansas City. That's all they really need.
True.
They're pretty loaded. I mean,
True. Corner and running
corner
back.
they need, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk. You just talked about him. Freaking, I think I'm going Andrew Booth here.
Love
from
it.
Clemson.
Yep. I've been wanting to talk to you guys all week about it because I've settled into him being. I feel like I had to save it. I've settled him being my number one guy. That I want. Number one realistic guy that they can get at 25.
Yep.
Been watching a lot of highlights of him. Need someone opposite Tre'Davious White, who's going to be coming back off injury. But he's I think he's 6'1", 6'2". He's a long corner. I don't hate them going Breece Hall here either because they do need a running back. But Andrew Booth is my number one, and I just love just the entire direction of the Bills. You could tell they have a plan. You could tell they're in sync with the GM and head coach. Everyone's in sync. Everyone knows where they're going, and they draft really well. So
I do wonder what the impact of not having Brian Dabble is going to be.
We'll see. We promoted Ken Dorsey, Queez boy, to our offensive coordinator, who's been there.
Hell yeah.
And shit, we don't fucking run the ball anyway, so who gives a shit about?
Right. Well, you run the ball, just not traditionally.
Just with Josh Allen. But I don't hate a Breece Hall here, but Andrew Booth is the guy that I want. Great pick, Dank. Next goes to Quee at 26 with the Tennessee Titans.
All right, this one is pretty easy for me because I think they're going to take this kid if he's on the board. Sky Moore.
Wow.
I think if A.J. Brown leaves or plays the same card that a lot of these guys are trying, you take a kid like that right now.
Can I be honest with you guys?
No, don't be honest with us. Lie to me.
I have him 12th at receiver. I know Moose loves him. I don't see it.
Was that a lie or was that
No, that was the truth.
Strong word.
Oh, okay,
I got him at 12. I think he's second, third round.
Love is a strong word. I love Pickett's.
I have him as a second rounder as well. But the NFL seems to love him.
All right. Next is me with my former team, quote unquote, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. with them, I'm taking my best available on the board. And Moose, you got to correct me on his name because you said it right the other night, and I didn't. But the DN from Purdue, George Karlaftis.
Karlaftis.
That was my pick. That was my pick coming up next.
Well,
damn.
Karlaftis goes 27 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yikes. All right. I'm scrambling now. You sent me in a scramble mode. I thought I was going to sneak in on that one.
But you got the Green Bay Packers at 28.
Yo, give him the worst player ever.
I know.
Give him the running back from Oregon. What's his name?
They took
CJ Verdell.
They took George Pickens with their last pick.
Green Bay.
Yep.
Damn. All right. This is I'm gonna need a second here.
You got time. You're on the clock.
Damn.
They need a quarterback big time.
I know. I kind of want to do it. Shit. I'm gonna go with what's his name? The kid from Utah, linebacker.
Devin Lloyd.
Devin Lloyd.
Yep.
What's the I don't know why they just what's the Dumb and Dumber? Is it something like that?
What?
One of them's name was Lloyd.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Lloyd Christmas.
Lloyd
okay.
Christmas.
Yeah. For some reason, the way he said it made me think of that. Next is Dank of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs. They've been filling up at receiver decently. I think they're okay at receiver. They need defense. They need D-line. They need an edge guy. And they have back-to-back picks, so
They do.
I'm gonna go with Devonte Wyatt out of Georgia. D tackle.
Yep. Devonte Wyatt. I mean, how many Georgia defenders are getting taken? It's
right.
Crazy.
Wild.
And that's not a guess. That's what it's going to be.
That's what it's going to be. Yeah, I mean, with their average quarterback, below average quarterback from last year, all these dudes had to be filthy. But Quiddy 30 with the Kansas City Chiefs.
They omit their pick.
Put yourself in their shoes, buddy.
No, I think if the board fell this way, I think they take Khair Elam, the corner out of Florida.
Oh, really?
I was gonna say they were gonna laugh all the way to the bank with Lewis Cine. But
I have this weird feeling that the Badger ain't going anywhere. But
right,
if he leaves before Thursday, they'll definitely
do something like that. Yeah.
Safety, but
right.
Like someone's gonna need to cover these wideouts in that division.
Yeah. All right, last two picks. It's me with the Cincinnati Bengals. With the 31st pick in the 2020 NFL draft. The Cincinnati Bengals take Damone Clark, linebacker from LSU.
Well, he must have came out early if you draft him in 2020.
I said 22, buddy. Listen with your ears. Clark off the board. And final pick of the first round. The only time in Dank's life that he's ever seen this.
Yeah.
The only time he will ever see this, unless they trade again.
Wow. Never say never.
Is the Detroit Lions, who took Malik Willis at pick number 2.
Yep. And I think even though I've just spent an entire podcast bagging him, I think they sprint up and staple the Traylon Burks card on Roger Goodell's forehead.
Mm-hmm. If this went the way it went.
And Detroit's back to 0-16.
Shut up.
Fucking awful.
You couldn't be that much worse. All right.
I did.
Go ahead.
No,
I don't think that's what they do, though. I think they take a DB at 2, and whatever quarterback falls to them at 32, they'll just take that.
Possible, but I think you kick yourself when Malik Willis is one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
I mean, we've done it before. We'll do it again.
We're used to kicking ourselves. All right, so that is the official pick route mock draft. So you don't even got to watch the draft. That's exactly what's going to happen.
What it's going to be.
We did it for you. But yeah, no, we love the draft. We're going to be live tweeting the draft from there. And I'm trying to pull up our taking a knee because I don't have it memorized. All right. So, all right, bring it up. Take a knee. Thank you for listening. Thanking our good friend Savino for the use of our theme song, Time is Money. You can find him on Instagram at Savino_music. Look up Savino. That is Savino, Savino. Thank you to Sarah Wyant for the creation of our logo. Thank you to our producer, Brian Miller.
And quick thank you to Dottie Capicelli for the start of the Pick Route merch. All right, find all your custom pieces at Dots Emporium on Instagram and Etsy. That's at Dots Emporium, DOTZ Emporium. Appreciate you.
You can follow us on social media at The Pick Route across all channels. That's Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at The Pick Route. You can email us game ideas at thepicroute@gmail.com. Release new episodes every Tuesday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, until next week, it could be worse. You could be playing for us.
That's why I do what I want. Spending all your time won't never get it back. Time is money, don't be wasting my cash. Get it back, get it back, get it back. Time is money, don't be wasting my stash. Spending all your time won't never get it back. Spending all your time won't never get it back. Wasting all your good years living in the past. We only got this one life, get it on track. Money on my mind, all I think about is cash. I tell her swallow deep, cause I like it like that. I got that magic break a backboard, don't get like Shaq. Paul strapped up bombs like Iraq. Fuck your feelings, show me facts. If we ain't talking stacks, I don't got time for that. Pick and choose